What's the best unintended consequence of a workplace rule you've seen? About 10 years ago, I was working for a community nursing company. Since the job had us driving all over the place, we were given company cars and prepaid expense cards. The cards had a weekly limit of 400 euros, and every Monday, the balance reset. It was more than enough. A full tank cost around 55 or 60 euros, and even with coffee and lunch, most of us spent about 150 to 200 a week. The system worked fine. Enter Chad. He was the financial officer, and he came in with some big ideas about saving money. His plan? Drop the weekly 400 euro card limit and replace it with a 50 euro daily cap, resetting every day. On paper, maybe it looked smart. In reality, it was a mess. Since a full tank already cost more than the daily limit, you couldn't just fill up and be done. If you paid the extra out of pocket, you wouldn't get reimbursed. Chad's response? You already have a company card. Learn to use it better. Most of my coworkers grumbled and adjusted. They started fueling in smaller amounts, 20 or 30 euros at a time, 2 or 3 times a week. It was annoying, but they played along. But I learned something important during my Navy years. If you want compliance, you'll get it, but to the exact letter of the rules. So I came up with my own approach. Every morning, I'd stop and put about 20 euros of fuel in my car. Coffee I covered myself. That left me roughly 30 euros a day to spend on food, and I knew exactly where to put it. There was a grill and BBQ restaurant I liked. They also had a catering service, and the owner was big on helping the local food bank. Customers could add extra money to a running tab, and every Sunday, the restaurant used that tab plus their own funds to cook meals for families in need. So I ate lunch there every day, and whatever was left on my card after food went straight to the food bank's tab. That meant I was adding about 90 euros a week to their fund, while maxing out the company card exactly as instructed. Instead of costing the company 150 euros a week, I was now costing them 250, and Chad noticed. He dragged me into a meeting, demanding to see receipts. I handed them over, fuel and food. He told me I should eat cheaper. I just smiled and said, the company can't tell me what to eat. That was the start of something bigger. Other nurses saw me leaving the meeting with a grin, asked what was up, and I explained. Within weeks, 6 of us were doing the same thing. Every day, each of us maxed out the card. The food bank Sunday buffet became legendary. This went on for 2 months. Chad was livid, but he couldn't touch us. We were following the rules. Then came the twist. What we didn't know was that the company's owner was a major supporter of the food bank. He'd noticed the bigger meals being served and asked the restaurant owner about it. When he learned that a group of nurses had been funding the tab through their daily card limits, he put 2 and 2 together. Next thing I know, I'm called into a meeting. I walk in, and Chad is already sitting there, looking way too pleased with himself. I was nervous, thinking I was about to be fired. Chad launched into a rant about how the nurses were costing the company extra money, wasting funds on something so stupid as a food bank. That was the wrong thing to say in front of the owner. The owner cut the meeting short. Right then and there, he reinstated the old weekly card system. He gave both of us a reprimand. Chad for creating the mess, me lightly for bending the rules, and then he looked at me and said, if you ever want to donate to the food bank, let me know. I'll match it. The fallout? Beautiful. We got the old system back, which nobody abused. The company started giving a weekly donation to the food bank on top of what we'd started, and even sponsored a massive Easter Sunday BBQ for the community. As for Chad, his days were numbered. His obsession with penny pinching eventually hurt the quality of care we were providing. Within 3 months, he was gone. I stayed with the company until it was sold to new owners who, unfortunately, were more like Chad. But that's another story. For a while, though, it felt amazing to know that by following the rules exactly as written, we turned a bad policy into hot meals for hundreds of people who needed them most.